Is AI a tool to help us, a new teammate, or is it a threat to our jobs? And look, this is on everyone's mind, right? Because this change is happening way faster and on a bigger scale than pretty much anything we've ever seen in the workplace before. So, to get our heads around all this, we've got a simple plan. First, we'll look at how AI is shaking everything up. Then, we'll talk about what it means to be AI fluent. After that, we'll cover the best way to learn these new skills, why good leaders are so important right now, and finally, we'll land on the one skill that truly matters more than anything else. All right, let's jump right in. You know, for the longest time, AI was kind of this thing that only the IT folks or the real tech experts had to worry about. But we've totally hit a turning point. That's not true anymore. It's now a really big deal for every single person, no matter what your job is. So, one of the biggest takeaways from this report is crystal clear. Knowing how to use AI well isn't just a nice-to-have skill anymore. It's becoming a core part of the mission for every single team, from marketing to sales to HR. It's not optional anymore, it's just becoming part of the job. Okay, so what does this actually mean for you, for your day-to-day work? Well, it all starts with this idea called AI fluency. And don't panic. This has nothing to do with learning how to write code. It's much more like learning a new language, one that helps you work and communicate in a completely new way. And here's the key thing to get. Being fluent doesn't mean you have to be some kind of tech wizard. Nope. It just means you get what AI is good at and maybe what it's not so good at. It means you know how to use it safely and you feel comfortable enough to make it a regular partner in your work. You can actually think about this in 3 simple steps, kind of like levels in a game. At first, you just augment. You use AI to help out with the stuff you're already doing. Then you move on to assist and automate, where you let AI take over bigger chunks of a task. And finally, the really cool part, you team up with smart AI agents to totally rethink and redesign how you get work done from the ground up. And believe me, this isn't some slow burn. The data shows that people are literally racing to pick up these new skills. They can see the change happening all around them, and they're actively trying to keep up and stay ahead. I mean, just look at this number. This is wild. This is the growth in people learning about AI assistants that can actually help them write computer code. It just goes to show how incredibly fast everyone is jumping on these new tools to get better and more efficient at their jobs. Okay, so that raises a really important question. If everyone is scrambling to learn this stuff, what's the best way to do it? And it turns out the answer isn't sitting in a boring, old-fashioned classroom. And this isn't just a hunch, right? There's real research behind it. Basically, we learn way better when we get our hands dirty and actually try stuff out for ourselves. Just listening to someone talk about something isn't anywhere near as powerful as actually doing it. So the smartest companies are flipping the whole idea of training on its head. They're making learning something you do every day, as part of your actual job. It's about trying things, sharing what works with your teammates, and connecting all of that learning directly to where you want to go in your career. But, having all the cool tools and the skills to use them, that's only part of the story. This research makes it really clear that the human side of things, like trust and great leadership, is just as important, maybe even more important. Now, this is a really insightful point. Think about it. When people get worried or anxious about AI, our first instinct is to blame the technology, right? But what this report suggests is that anxiety is often a sign that leaders aren't doing a good enough job guiding their teams through the change. And this chart, wow, it just lays it all out. There's a huge gap here. Almost everybody, a whopping 88%, agrees that good leadership is absolutely critical right now. But less than half of those people feel like their own leaders are actually prepared for this moment. But here's some good news. Companies are starting to get it. There's been a massive, nearly 100% jump in learning about AI ethics. This tells us that they're realizing you can't just throw this powerful tech out there. You have to build trust by setting clear, fair rules for how to use it the right way. So this brings us to our last section. And honestly, if you take away just one thing from our chat today, this is it. It's about looking past AI itself and seeing the bigger picture. So here's the big idea. AI is the massive wave we're all dealing with today, but it won't be the last one. The real skill, the one that will keep you ahead of the game for your whole career, is getting really good at change itself. Getting AI ready is really just training for being future ready. So, how do you actually do that? How do you get future ready? It's all about focusing on what are called adaptive skills. These are the classic human skills that computers, well, they just can't replicate. Things like thinking critically, coming up with creative ideas, and working well with others. They never go out of style. And what's really cool is that these skills become like superpowers when you have AI. When AI takes care of the boring, repetitive stuff, it frees up our brains to focus on what we're amazing at: making smart calls, learning new things quickly, bouncing back when things get tough, and being truly creative. And this isn't just a nice idea. The numbers totally back it up. The research found that people who are good at adapting are almost 4 times more innovative. So by building these skills, you're not just trying to survive change, you're actually the one driving the creative new ideas. So I want to leave you with this one last thought that kind of flips the whole conversation. The real question we should be asking ourselves isn't just, am I ready for AI? The much bigger, more important question is, am I ready for whatever comes next?